Bonjour everyone, welcome to another diecast showcase. So today we're going to be checking out some recent store finds, mostly semi-premium and actually pretty much all semi-premium and premium stuff. So I'm going to have some Hot Wheels, Majorette M2, and a little surprise at the end. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check these finds out. All right, first and foremost, did pick up a few Hot Wheels Silverline series. I believe that's what they're called. Namely, a few representatives that I wanted from the most recent wave of neon speeders. I picked up 3 out of the 8, yeah, the only one that was missing out of this whole wave was the Ken Mary. I love the casting, but I mean, it's not the type of livery anyways that I would have picked up. All the other ones were there. First one I picked up was the 95 Mitsubishi Eclipse. Definitely casting I like, obviously based on the Fast and Furious Eclipse, driven by Paul Walker, or either way, through movie magic, I guess we could say. So this one, I do like livery and wheels and whatnot. It really matches the late 90s, early 2000s era of tuner car. You do have a tiny Sparko logo also on that front fender. It's cool to have a real life sponsor on there. And yeah, wheels match well with the deco in their design and of course in their color as well. But yeah, overall, nice casting, nice details as well. You know, worthy representative of DSM tuner cars of yore. So I do definitely like this one. Second one that I picked up, I don't know if these are extremely in demand or not. Seemingly, on the pegs I visited, there were probably 3 or 4 of them. So Datsun 510 wagon. Haven't picked up a 510 in a while, so this is one that, you know, it was there. I wasn't necessarily going to be super sad if it wasn't there, but it was, so I decided, hey, what the heck, might as well, you know. Basic black paint with the purple and pink splatter. Looks kind of cool, and it is fully detailed, so, you know, I like this one. It's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of wagons, you know, big fan of Japanese classic cars, so pretty much fits the bill. Obviously, you know, there's nothing you know, classic about the wheel design, but again, you know, it works kind of. It's probably a more out there liveried 510 wagon that I've managed to score, and you know, it's not a bad addition to the collection. I'm pretty happy about that one. Plus, I mean, it's a Nissan, well, Datsun, but a Nissan still, so not gonna say no to that. Final one out of the neon speeders that I picked up, and the only one I absolutely wanted, because I don't have a version of this cast, would be the 95 FDRX7 with the drift version. So with the bigger spoiler, big exhaust on the back, a weird, you know, cranberry colored base there. I do like the front bash bar with the front bumper delete, so that's pretty cool. Big vent on the hood as well, which is a must for a rotary, because they do tend to overheat. They need a lot of air, especially when driven hard. And I believe there's also a roll cage in this thing. Or it could just be the windows are a little bit thick. These are all light blue tinted windows, so I don't know. It looks good. I mean, I like it. I believe the only other version of this casting was in the ID line, actually. And the first iteration also of the Drift Spec S14A Silvia was also first released in the ID series. I'm pretty happy to get this because I was able to pick up the Silvia through the Ultra Hots way of, I believe, second wave. Yeah, second wave of Ultra Hots. And now I have this one, because I mean, ID cars we never actually saw pretty much. You have to pick those up at a hobby store and they cost a premium. So, you know, I'm happy to pick this up at peg store, at store prices, basically right off the pegs. Sorry about that. All right, next up, I picked up a couple of these vintage. What is it? Vintage Racing Club. Yeah, Vintage Racing Club is a good series. It's my second or third time stumbling upon these on the pegs. Miura is definitely the peg warmer. Never seen the Camaro because obviously it's supposedly a chase. So obviously everybody scored and knows when they can. The 300 SL, not my favorite casting. I do prefer just like a stock looking one. So I didn't pick that one up. Porsche, I probably would have picked up, but it wasn't there. So, I mean, it's cool, green and white and whatnot, but, you know, I've got a bunch of different variations of this casting, so I don't really mind it not being there. However, the two other ones, these were the two that I most wanted. This one is the most peg warmer one after the Miura, which I kind of struggle to figure out why, because it's a really, really nice liveried, clean casting of the BMW 2002. You know, it's got the turbo style front air dams, got the tamper work all over, and it's really heavy. I'm not sure if this is actually a plastic or metal base, but I think this one specifically is a plastic base. You know, I wouldn't know without opening it, because it sure looks like plastic from here. But hey, let me know in the comments if you guys have opened one, and tell me if it's metal or plastic. Loving the new wheels, the Fuchsai wheels, very cool. Definitely happy. Reminds me a lot of the loose Forza Motorsport one that I have, the Hot Wheels Premium one from way back, probably 10 years ago, that picked up and cracked open right away. So that's definitely a nice one to have on card. Yeah, obviously last one, well, the Vet, 55 Vet. And I find this is really cool because it does have a metal base, and it's the same thing from that the previous release. I believe it was called the Roadster series, like a Walmart exclusive 8 or 10 car series. This one was on aero discs, but in cream, kind of cream colored, with a red interior, and also had the metal base. Whereas the mainline releases, they do have the plastic base. So this one definitely is cool. You can see that the grille is an intrusion of the base. Got those same Fuchs style wheels, but with the blacked out spokes on this one. Good looking wheels. Love those wheels. And it's great to have one tampoed all over. The one that I actually have from the Roadster series, that beige one, I actually freed it and detailed it out. So this is going to be my carded version of the metal based 55 first generation Vet. So definitely happy about that. Love the Robin's Egg Blue and that butterscotch interior. Very, very nice. You know, and the stripes work well on this one in views of the fact that it's a vintage racer. All right, next up, did manage to pick up also a couple premiums. Nothing crazy. Premium Hot Wheels, that is. First and foremost, had this lone guy sitting on the pegs, the Ford Anglia race car. Kind of a theme with the vintage racers there. This is definitely a cool casting. Hot Wheels did put out a version of this in the main line years and years ago, probably around between 2010 and 2015, let's say around 2013, 14, 12, something like that. And it was gray with a couple wheel variations. Came on 10 spokes as well as faster than ever wheels. I had spotted one in a grab bag at the thrift store, the 10 spoke version, but I did not pick it up. So this one is officially my first Anglia like coupe, as opposed to the little Anglia drag car, which I do have. You see on the corner there, on the top of that larger scale Solido Woody, there's a little Anglia van basically right on top of that. That's part of, I don't remember which series, but now we have a sedan version. So that is really cool. It's got the wide arches, Ford Race Team livery, which is really cool. Real sponsors across the board. Number 67 for the model year, obviously, and those really cool white four spokes. Very good tampo work. Love the reverse rake on the rear window. That's really cool. A little cool styling cue on this tiny UK developed car. So I believe this was developed in the UK. I'm pretty sure this is Ford UK that developed this. Either way, here's the other cars that are in the series. Would really like to get the Accord. Wouldn't have minded getting the Celica either, but yeah, this was literally the only one, and not just the only one, the only casting that they had for this series on the pegs when I was there, but it was literally the only Boulevard on the pegs when I was there. So I mean, I grabbed it. Not disappointed about that. Next, I did stumble upon the most recent wave of the pop culture / entertainment series. I think it's pop culture. Yeah, pop culture ones. So did pick up 2 of those. Unfortunately, the one I really wanted wasn't there, but that's not surprising. So we'll start with this one, which is the first Batmobile that's basically pretty much based on the first Batmobile to appear in the Batman comics of the 30s. So I find it's really cool. It's technically a fantasy casting, but I mean, in practice, it's really based on a comic book car. So, I mean, it's not a Hot Wheels fantasy casting. It's the author of that comic book's fantasy car made into a casting. Really interesting how they made the steering wheel on this. I don't know if you see, but it's literally like there's no air passing through the spokes, but it's the wheel details are painted on there, which is kind of cool. Other dash details are there as well. You've got the split front glass, and definitely late 30s, early 40s styling. Basically, this would have been really, really, well, not really, really, but a bit futuristic for the time. And I mean, I think it's pretty much the only Batmobile that was red. So, very cool. We even got a license plate with the 1960, 1968 0, so the Hot Wheels year of birth. Black seats. Would have been cool if they were like two-tone black and red, but I mean, I won't complain about it. Love the wheels, the wide steel, the deep dish steelies with the wide white wall tires. Very cool. Of course, metal base and rubber tires. Real Riders metal on metal. You see right there. So, yeah, I mean, I found that this was a really cool little curio, so I'm definitely not mad. I had finding this one. I actually reserved judgment when the photos of these were leaked before they were released, or I don't know, is it leaked? Let's say leaked. I was not ultra keen on picking it up, although I did find it cool, very cool looking. But I did want to reserve final judgment to when I saw this in person. And I mean, it looks really good, but also it's super, super heavy. It's really heavy. And, just when I picked it up to take a closer look, the weight of it just said, oh, you know what, I'll pick it up, definitely. So, happy about that. And the last Hot Wheels Premium I picked up, same wave. Obviously, saw this and had to pick it up. I mean, it's not my favorite Nissan of all time, obviously. I mean, it's a Vision Gran Turismo concept. As you can see, I believe these are my first gold series carded cars, basically. First premiums I pick up with the new design, so it's kind of cool. But yeah, so basically, for those who are not aware of what these Vision Gran Turismo cars are, take a moment to explain it to you. I used to be an avid Gran Turismo player and fanboy and whatever. I believe it was when Gran Turismo 5 launched. Auto manufacturers were invited to design a future car. Like in 25 years, what will your ultimate sports car look like, kind of thing. And surprisingly, a lot of manufacturers participated. anywhere from Hyundai to Lamborghini to all kinds of other brands, basically. And Nissan was one of them. And they developed this little, definitely a lot of GTR cues, a lot of current Nissan cues as well with that grill, that front grill. You can also see on the rear that there's definitely inspiration um, from the GTR with the 4-round lights. And I believe that this rear light treatment actually inspired the Zagato restyling of the R35 GTR that came out. I believe Aerocar makes a bunch of different colors of that car. So if ever you guys want to pick up a copy of that, it's not my favorite. I don't find the restyle really good personally, even though I love a lot of Zagato styled cars. This one I like better than the Zagato version, even though it is technically just a style study and it is solely for inclusion in a video game as opposed to making a real life version. I like the wheels. These kind of like a mix between mesh and aero disc type wheels that really popular in the 70s for silhouette race cars and Le Mans race cars as well. So yeah, I'm happy about that. Obviously, well, I really wanted the Gran Turismo pace car, the R34 GTR, but yeah, that was nowhere to be found. It's just Skylines and Civics. You can forget those on the pegs up here. So I did manage to score a Majorette that I'm really happy I got. And it's one of my favorite lines from Majorette, the Majorette Vintage line. It is this beautiful Jaguar E-Type Roadster. Based on the lights, this is probably going to be a Series 1 or Series 2. Could probably delve into a little bit more detail if that clamshell hood opened to see if it's a 3.8 or a 4.2 straight 6, but unfortunately it does not open. However, it is British Racing Green. You've got a black interior. You got those cool 6-slot, kind of aero disky looking wheels that I find fit very well on vintage castings from Matchbox. Plus, they got the narrow tires that definitely look period. You've got lensed front lights. The logos and lights are all done. Chrome door handles. And of course, the rear is done. Unfortunately, they did not put a dab of silver on that twin center exhaust, which would have been great. I do like the fact, though, that there's an intrusion from the plastic black base in place of the license plate holder. And again, you've got the little Jaguar logo on the rear. So, very cool. I think this is my only drop-top E-Type at the current time. I did have more E-Types at a certain point in my collection, but a lot of them were sold off as a lot to a local collector that collects old British cars. Anything that's British and classic. I mean, I sold him some doubles of Lotus Esprit, MGs, Triumph, stuff like that. Basically, I kind of purged a little bit in the old UK car collection with some couple doubles, some color waves that I wasn't privy on keeping, such as Hot Wheels Triumph TR6 and things like that. Basically, retaining a couple or just one and offing the rest via him. Now we're going to check after this. This was actually a surprise. I visited a new toy / game / hobby store that sells mostly board games. Has a lot of all the Warhammer, Dungeons and Dragon, all those kind of little niche things, the little figures, the paintable figures and all that stuff. They have some plastic kits, some Lego, some Playmobil, some, basically a real toy / hobby store. And they do have a little bit of diecast. Now, when I walked in, it was the first time walking, I did spot an end cap with, a little bit of 2 end caps, a little bit of Hot Wheels, Mario Kart stuff, few very old main lines, a couple 5-packs, fantasy car 5-packs, things like that, that I was like, nah, character cars. I'm not really into that. So I was gonna leave. Then I spotted smack in the middle of the store, A little bit of a center table with a bunch of die casts, mostly 124s, a little bit of 118s, including a couple of really nice ones, and a few 143rds, namely from Greenlight, for GTs and cop cars and things like that. But what they had on one side, and these I'm very surprised that the store has them. They had a nice selection of these poster cars. Now, I say nice selection. Obviously, there's only like 4 or 5 models per wave with 2 or 3 color variations of each. But I decided to pick one up just to see what it was all about. It was super cheap. It was like $10 with tax out the door. I mean, it looks hella premium. So I went for something that I did not have in the collection. So a Koenigsegg Jesko. Obviously Hot Wheels has made one, but not the absolute version. And I was kind of close to picking up also a purple McLaren P1, but since I have one of those right next to that McLaren F1 GTR 132nd scale car, literally I thought to myself, why, except to do a comparo, would I pick it up? And I mean, I don't know what I do afterwards. So decided to go ahead and pick up one that I did not have. So this is in sweet mandarin orange. Very, very nice color. I'll be cracking this at the same time as a couple of other premiums that I showed off in my last video, or second to last video probably. Either way, I'm going to definitely be showing, opening this one, getting a closer look, and opening a bunch of premiums as well that I want to take a closer look at. So happy to add one of these to the collection, picking it up locally, not having to pay shipping. Again, very surprised that I found this in a store. And even the guy that worked the cash register was like, yeah, we got these. It's not something we normally sell, but, yeah, we got a case of them. So cool. Good for me. I'm going to be able to see what poster cars is all about. We're going to finish up with a couple M2s I picked up. And they kind of are themed together to a certain extent if we're talking about the car manufacturer. So first one I picked up was this extremely cool, and I've been wanting this truck ever since I saw first photos of it via M2's Instagram, and then through several people that have found it in stores. This super cool Japanese liveried Chevy Cheyenne Super 10 custom square body. Not only do I love the card art, but also I love all these little touches. Basically, the card is great. It looks really, really cool, with the Japanese and English Coca-Cola logos. But it's all about this truck. First and foremost, LT4 supercharged, really cool, very, very cool. So it's got a modern engine swap. Well, I don't know if it's the LT4 from a Corvette, like from the C4 Corvette, or it's an LT4 from the new Z06 Corvette. Not sure exactly. That remains to be seen once you open the hood. But you got all the Coca-Cola livery on there, and you got the Yokohama livery, which is really or sponsorship, which is really cool, and these really, really rad 8-spoke gold wheels that again looks like an old school work design from Work Wheels. And I like the fact it's two-tone like this. It does remind me a lot of the R30 Skyline. If like the KDR30 from Hot Wheels, the first release of that casting in red with the lower black color, and the gold DOHC dual overhead cam and 16 valve turbo and all that stuff. So I think it's kind of cool. It's got like a Skyline-ish vibe to the paint job, very JDM, but it's an American Slam truck. So long bed, single cab, very, very cool. 73. Yeah, very, very cool. Very, very cool. And this will go really well with the I believe the first Coke JDM release was, one of them was the Fairlady Z432. And I do have that one. That's going to go super well with it as well. So extremely, extremely awesome. And last, but definitely not least, find is, I don't pick these up quite often, because they are kind of pricey and they take up a lot of room. And I know for a fact that I'll probably not open them, and if they get opened, it's going to be by somebody else than me, if ever I decide to let go of them at a certain point. Sorry about that, just gonna get this dust off it here. A little bit of store dust left on there. Yeah, so what a cool set. Look at this, guys. Managed to find this set here. So I'm really, for the haulers, I'm really M2 haulers, I'm really going just with the vehicles that are going to be basically 2 cars / trucks plus a trailer, as opposed to like a flatbed or whatever. Basically, I'm trying to limit the rigs because I do have a fairly okay collection of rigs, but this one I had to pick up, especially for this guy right here, this new Chevy van, the G10 van casting from M2. I am definitely hoping to find either the Coke version, the Sweethearts version, or that yellow version out of Authentics to get a regular version of that van. But this lifted 4x4 one is really cool. And, you know, everybody loves a flare side square body, you know, 4x4 square body. So got the Scottsdale Chevy Super 4x4 as well. So, yeah, really cool set. Let's take a closer look at the van quick here. So here she is. As you can see, it's got Dirt Rider on the side with a little dirt bike on there, dirt bike rider. It's got the big spare tire on the roof rack. It's got the little fuel can as well. It's got some fog lights on the front and a push bar as well. And you know, all the bright work is blacked out, which is really cool. You can see the ladder on the back. You know, really cool van. You know, really cool tow rig. Definitely liking this a lot. And you know, trailer's all black. You know, not the first time that this trailer is used by M2 for a hauler set, but you know, I really like them. And you know, again, they make really good hitches. You can see, you know, they're very proportionate. And you do have that little stand as well to actually be able to level the trailer when it's not propped onto the tow hook. Yeah, getting back to the Scottsdale here. Yeah, really cool. I mean, both of them highlighter yellow. Definitely a very pungent color, to say the least. You got a little bit of pinstriping going on, which is very 70s. I really do like the pinstriping on this one. And it's got the same kind of theme, basically. You know, you've got the blacked out bumpers and all that good stuff. You know, old school Chevrolet font on the tailgate. Big swampers on this one as well. They do have the same wheels, the truck and the van. And yeah, on the front you have a push bar as well, which barely see basically, but you know, it's there. And this one has a really cool bench seat setup for the inside. Really cool. Very nice set altogether. I really do like it a lot. So yeah, that was my last find for this specific haul. So let me know if you enjoyed. Let me know which one was your favorite, which ones you found, which ones you haven't. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of these poster cars, because I've seen a couple reviews. People seem to find they're really good bang for the buck. Let me know what your opinion is on these. So on that, I'll let you go. I'll catch you on the next one. Stay safe out there. Happy hunting. All the best of luck on those pegs, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.